Hello and welcome to this tutorial where I am painting up, well, this is part one, a Reaper Bones Townsfolk Wench. I wanted to get the packet in there because that's what it is actually called, so just to make sure I don't offend anybody when I use the term wench, because that's what the figure is called. And I'm going to be using her for my Dungeons and Dragons escapades, or going to be part of literally, like it says, the townsfolk. I've just shown you some of the detail there before I wash it up. I always wash the Reaper Bones models because they have a bit of mold release on the plastic they use, which a percentage of it is actually recycled plastic. So I love Reaper Bones models in that respect. Just showing that I super glued it to a GW base actually, and priming it with Vallejo. It was Panzer Grey, my favourite primer at the moment. Don't know why I showed you that really, but we all know how to prime. I'm just showing you. I guess you can prime by hand if you wish. Okay, so first things first, I'm going in with the flesh tone, the Beastie flesh for the base tone of the skin. And there's not a lot of it really, just face, chest, and tops of hands, I believe. So yeah, it doesn't. Beastie flesh is a lovely skin tone. It doesn't cover exceptionally well, but it is a gorgeous colour. I do find, and I do like to use it for a lot of skin tones. So got the face there, just going in under the chin. Death World Forest I use for the dress. Now I don't know why I did this before the rest of the skin tone. I'm not sure. I think I was still seeing my way around the model at this point. But Death World Forest, lovely green, and I wanted a sort of a greeny dress. I wanted the apron to be a bit more stark but dirty, so we'll come to that in a moment. This one covers quite well. There we go. And there we are. As you can see, I filled in the chest and tops of the hands with the Beastie flesh. It's because I didn't notice it straight away. Troll Slayer Orange for the apron. I did want a kind of a stark colour apron, and I know from experience Troll Slayer Orange doesn't cover the dark primers that well, which was kind of what I was hoping. I want a little bit showing through here and there, which is why I had to move it around the apron quite a fair bit to get the effect I wanted. I'm going to be adding a wash later anyway, just to give it that final effect. But yeah, I'm just making sure I've got the edges of the apron. It's literally going to be just like a sort of scenario based figure. Ushabti bone, and this was for the apron strings, I guess. Like the apron drawstrings, and a couple of bits on the front of the top of the apron, which I wanted to do. I'm not quite sure what that was, but I wanted, and the pockets, of course, there, which we're going to grubby up a bit later on. I quite like that she's got. Oh yeah, there's a hairband there as well, which I'll put in. But I do quite like. She's actually got like a sort of a rag in one of the pockets, which is quite a nice effect, which looks kind of good as well. There. Tuscal fur is what I use for the rag. It's only a tiny bit, but it's just enough to give it a little bit of extra detail. And that really adds to this model. I do like this model. It's It's a great little figure. There we go, that was easy enough. Right, Agrex Earthshade. Time to get down and dirty. One of my favourite shade washes, Agrex Earthshade. We're not going for a Golden Demon standard here, just a game piece really. The sort of standard I would use for a board game. That's what I'm aiming for here. Dirty Splatter. Now this was for the mugs or the tankards, because I wasn't sure initially whether to go for metal tankards or wooden ones. I thought, well, I think they'd more likely be wooden, wouldn't they, in that kind of setting? So that was what I went for. And I'd got ahead of myself. I put the white head of the ale in on top of them as well. But I shouldn't have done that. But I do that. I kind of get excited when I'm painting a figure. Forget to film. But it's just the tops of the mugs. So I think that gives it a rather nice effect once you put that on. I'm not trying to go like uber realistic here. Just so that you know, it's enough to tell the brain what they're meant to be. Well, it is for me anyway. So just doing like the rims and the edges. Astro Granite, this is what I use to put around the edge of the base. One of my favourite basing texture paints. The Dirty Splatter I used for the tankard, so that was from my Zombicide paint set, by the way. So if you're wondering about that one, and I'm just using my GW texture tool to pop that on there, which works absolutely fine. So thank you for watching this part 1 of my Townsfolk Wench, and that's the stage I'm leaving it at. And thank you very much for watching this. I will see you on part 2, so join me on that one when we finish this figure off, and yeah, we can move on to the next one. Thanks again. Bye for now.